Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
Getting by.
Can I no giving? Use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you
Crazy if you let it.
woo.
So I gave up LA for Limassol, which is, I get asked the question, you moved from Los Angeles to Limassol, why? And but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Even though I didn't follow that road to Johns Hopkins University at the time, that I was able to get a master's in business administration. At this time, I'm in business, so I thought it would be the best degree to basically get for myself. I have my cabin and I will always have it, and I don't want to change it because when I reach the end of my journey, I guess that's when I will die probably, but still I will look back and I will see all these amazing memories and all these things that have been created because of tourism.
I'm Farah Shammas. Welcome to Hotel Talk. We hope you enjoy listening to this friendly conversation between people connected by real life in hotels. Hi everyone. So today I've got with us a very, very, very special friend of mine, Miss Klea Symeou, who is very, very well known in the Cyprus tourism industry and abroad. People know her in Russia, in the UK, in Europe, you name it. She is a DMC, which is a destination management company owner. And her company is called Sassy Events, but she's worked for various companies here in Cyprus. Klea, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Farah. I'm very happy to be here, and especially with you.
It's always, well, we don't need an excuse to have a good gossip, do we? So
never.
The only difference is now we're being recorded. Thank goodness our younger days didn't have social media.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Then we would have shown the real side, the real side of hospitality before all our responsibilities kicked in. So, okay, I know you very, very well, but people who are listening don't. You're Cypriot, but you grew up in America. Let's delve in a little bit to your background. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit, if somebody is listening in now, what do they need to know about you?
What do they need to know about me? Well, I was living in America. I grew up there, and I decided to come to Cyprus. Completely different from the fast-paced life of LA, but I really love the island, and I thought to myself, if I were to live here, what would I do? Well, the only thing that came in my mind at the time was basically tourism, because I get to travel the world, deal with different people, have fun. And I got into travel, in the travel industry. And the most exciting part of being in this industry is actually meeting people like Farah and people from all over the world that come to our island to enjoy our services and for a purpose, for fun, for leisure, for whatever reason. But that was the reason I got into the industry. And I stayed here. So I gave up LA for Limassol, which is, I get asked the question, you moved from Los Angeles to Limassol, why? And but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Okay, the industry is very difficult for the people that work in it, like myself and Farah, of course. But at the same time, it's rewarding. And like I said, I wouldn't change it for the world.
What is it that makes it so rewarding? I mean, it's a word that I use a lot, and it's coming up a lot and more and more in this podcast and with everyone else. But if you had to pinpoint what makes it so rewarding, what would you say?
Okay, I'll tell you. So basically, our destination management company, what do? They basically operate and organize events for the world's top corporate clients from all over the world in Cyprus. And they have a reason for organizing these events. And their reason is to motivate their employees, to thank them, to teach them, to invest in their people. When I manage to actually provide a successful event for them, they are very happy. And I am rewarded for this, and it's not about the money all the time. It's about the fact that we're able to do something amazing for these companies, which, leaves an impression for all the delegates who are part of this event, but also in our minds as well, in my mind. And it's a challenge. It's something creative. It's something that I wouldn't be able to do if I was not in the industry and I was just doing something else, sitting behind a desk, or, not leaving my office, not traveling the world to go find these clients. It's just, I look at it as a train, and I'll tell you about that later.
Yes. So, okay, when you started in the industry, so you started in travel and tourism, you weren't originally in a DMC company, you were in a travel agency. So tell us a little bit about that and whether you think that that's the best way. If somebody's listening to this and say, I want to be an event organizer, how do they start? What is the best way to get into it? What's the best way to learn?
Okay, the best way to learn is basically actually operating the events. But I'll tell you my story. So basically, like I said, I came from the States. I came to Cyprus and I wanted to do something with myself. So I decided, let's go into travel. So I was actually a representative for a tour operator, and I would sit at the lobby of a hotel. I think my first hotel was the Four Seasons. I thought, oh, cool, 5-star hotel. I ordered my coffee, and people were coming to me and asking me about Cyprus, and I gave them information. I was selling excursions, which were in Paphos, but I've never been to Paphos before. But it wasn't about that. It was about the fact that I was,
providing a service and experience.
Providing service, but also speaking to different people from all over the world and making them happy. So I kind of like that. So I then decided to continue. I started traveling for sales to different countries in Europe and selling Cyprus. And it was the fact that I wanted to show them my island, the destination I was selling. And from then on, I got into a different section of the industry, which was organizing events for the corporate clients. And like I said, you just have to do it once you're there, because a lot of people have the perception, a lot of young people, that event organizing is actually dressing in nice clothes, drinking champagne and fixing a fork at the dinner table, straighten it up. But it's not about that. It's
couldn't be further. Oh my goodness, couldn't be further from the reality.
Yeah, so it's a lot of hard work, but once you actually live this event and actually, you're there running it and working it, you understand that it's not all that. But again, it is quite rewarding when it is successful. People are happy. There's smiles on their faces. People are dancing, singing, and they've managed to basically get what they wanted out of this event. It sounds weird when I'm saying it, but it is quite a fun and rewarding experience. And if you're interested in this, I think you should definitely just go find a good DMC like ourselves. We're looking for people, and we will put you in the right, on the right road to experience.
It's a lot of work, but it is so much fun, and it is a fascinating industry, because no day is ever the same, no group is ever the same, no client's ever the same. No. But it's a lot of hours, and I'm going to go into that now. And I know, and many people know in Cyprus, I mean, you're a single mom of 3 stunning girls. One of them, I'm proud to say, is my goddaughter. Tell us how have you balanced it, because it's not easy, and you've had a lot of travel. It's not just the hours, but also you travel a lot for your work. So how do you manage to combine the two?
Listen, I have to be honest that I do have quite a lot of help from my family, my mom and dad, God bless them. But of course, there was times that they were not in the country, and I had to rely on others in schools and preschools and daycare centers and neighbors and colleagues to pick them up from school. But like I said, it's a balance. Yeah, you know that yourself, Farah, with your children. You have 3 beautiful children yourself, and it's not easy being a working mom in whatever profession you're in. But it's something that you have to balance as a human being and as a mother. And thank goodness, we've managed. They're really good kids. They're doing very well. But yeah, there's been times where I found myself crying on the floor of of the corridor of a hotel, basically, from the stress, from not sleeping. But again, I would not change what I do for anything. It's part of the work. It is demanding, but at the same time, is fulfilling. And I love it. And I love people. I love making them happy. I love being creative, creating amazing setups and themed evenings and team building activities and everything that goes with our industry, basically. And also giving back to the country, to the community, our suppliers, the hotels, the restaurants, the bus drivers, the taxi drivers. I've made so many friends and contacts, not only because I give to them, but because they support and appreciate our industry and they want us to all be successful. So,
exactly. And how much each group, each individual client, everyone, how much tourism brings to a country. It is amazing. Yeah. Well, you're definitely a role model for your young girls. And I always say that that's my hope as well. My kids might miss me sometimes, in which we try as much as we can to spend as much time with them. But hopefully they'll look at us as their mums and say, well, our mummies did this, they were successful, they're a role model, and we can do it too.
I do believe they look at us like that, Farah, for sure, because I know.
Yours are older.
Yeah. So don't worry about that. Yeah.
So,
and it's not about the time we spend together, it's the quality. And that's most important. That's why I say you have to balance it. And whatever time you have with your children and your loved ones, you just have to, give it that quality.
Be present. Yeah. And you're very good at that, I have to say. Yeah. So let's go into your MBA. Mm-hmm. So you reached more than being 20 or 30.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then, of course, we're still really young, but decided that, despite having your studies, despite having a couple of decades of work and life lessons and real examples to live by, that you wanted to get a professional qualification. Yeah. And you went for it. Still, 3 kids, single mom, full-time job, and you decided to get an MBA. What happened that made you decide you needed that?
Well, when I was 16, I was offered a scholarship to go to Johns Hopkins University on the East Coast of America, but I didn't want to go because I fell in love with my neighbor. Now, why am I telling you this? Yes, because my parents were not very happy with my decision. That I turned it down. So I always felt that I needed to prove to myself that even though I didn't follow that road to Johns Hopkins University at the time, that I was able to get a master's in business administration. At this time, I'm in business, so I thought it would be the best degree to basically get for myself. It was a self goal that I wanted to accomplish. Goal, yeah. And it was and I did it, and I'm happy that I did it, and I would do it again, basically. A different degree, but yeah.
Do you think it helped you a lot?
Listen, it was a lot of things that we've already known, because when you are a working manager for many years, you actually live the lessons they teach you in the course. Yeah. In any course, basically, it has to do with that. So it was very easy for me. But we had some great professors as well. So yeah. And I was going, and I wasn't online. So I really enjoyed going back to, a university class kind of thing, or college class. And yeah, I enjoyed it very much. And I'm very happy that I managed to.
It's amazing. I don't know how you did it. Yeah. Between such a demanding job and your kids, and then to get an MBA, really, it's great. And it just shows that anyone can do it. If you decide you want something, you can find that time.
Exactly. And I also wanted to show my children that, never give up. And I wanted them to see that their mommy, even though, she's busy and she was working, 9 to 12, by the way, not 9 to 9.
Yeah, we've got our little song. We might put it in with this podcast.
Yeah.
We always laugh. It's Dolly Parton, working 9 to 5. With us, we always like working 9 to 9.
Yeah, exactly. That if you set your mind to something, you could accomplish it. And what better way to show them this lesson by actually doing it myself. And yeah, it was really nice. I'm happy I did it.
Let's touch on the personal side then and tell us a little bit about falling in love with the neighbor next door and all the lessons that taught you. And you've got your amazing, I mean, Christina's from that marriage. So
Exactly. That was one of the reasons why I decided to move to Cyprus, to be honest. I fell in love young. And so my parents, Greek Cypriots, you can't marry a non-Christian Orthodox, non-Greek Cypriot boy. You have to, wait until you find the man we will select for you. We will build
someone
you.
called Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We will build you a house next door and it will be one big fat Greek happy family in the States. So yeah, that was their dream. However, I didn't
You had other plans.
want to follow those plans. So I fell in love, eloped. I went to Vegas, got married in the Chapel of Love with a fake ID, got pregnant on purpose. Because
Real rebel.
Yeah. Got pregnant on purpose. Wanted to make sure that my parents had no way of, breaking up this relationship of mine. Gave birth at the age of 17. And I have a beautiful daughter. Her name is Christina.
And she is beautiful.
Yeah. And unfortunately, though, when she was 6 months, my husband or my boyfriend, because you can't call it a husband or call him a husband at the time because it wasn't a real marriage, basically died in a car accident. So I was very young. I went back to school. I went to university. Got my business administration degree in my BA in business administration, and then I decided to leave Los Angeles and go to Australia for a year, as far away as possible from everyone and everything. I had family there. I really enjoyed it. I worked there.
And you took Christina with you?
Yes, Christina was with me. Came back to the States, and then I thought, let's go and visit and meet family in Cyprus. And that's when I came, very young, with a very young baby or child. She was a toddler at the time. And I got into the travel industry. I had an uncle who was working for a big tour operator called Cipriana at the time. And he's like, why don't you come and, spend some time with us? And that's when I became a representative and sat at the Four Seasons and had coffee, or I don't know what other hotel. I'm not sure if I came to the same Raphael. I think it was out of my boundary. It was too far at that time. Yeah. And then I got
and
married.
The rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history. I got married here, have 2 more beautiful daughters, and
Got divorced.
yeah. Got divorced. I forgot about that one. And now I'm single. So if there's any good
Good Greek Orthodox
single men out there,
man who loves her voice, check her out on Instagram. Exactly.
Exactly. So that's where we're at. Yeah.
Let's get into the good stuff now. So we touched on some very sentimental stories, but now let's go to the fun. Oh, we've got so many. Come on, share with us some funny stories. I mean, we have so many together from the industry, funny clients.
We've had, right when I look at you now, Farmo, I remember that day where we got the same necklace from the Polish client.
Yeah. the red one with the wood, with the wooden balls.
The wooden red beads or something. Yeah. So we had a very nice Polish client who came on inspection to Cyprus, to the St. Raphael Hotel, and she brought us a bag with some gifts, and we both received a red wooden beaded necklace. So we wanted to honor her, but we didn't speak. Me and Farah didn't speak the night before and said, yeah, put them on. So we went home that evening, and then the next day we had lunch or something with this lady, and we wanted to honor her. And so we both put on our red beads. We both put on black spandex. Remember pants?
It was the era of leggings, 3/4 length leggings. Yeah.
So we had our leggings on, our black shirts, and our red beads, and we
black shoes.
Black shoes. It was like we planned this, like we sent a message to each other. So we show up. The woman must have thought
these guys are crazy, and we both just looked at each other and burst out laughing. We're like, why did we call ourselves Tweedledee and Tweedledum?
Yeah, well,
I think because we were always late. We were always like. Confused. We were always, do you remember when we were at the airport? I can't even remember which airport. We were so tired. I think we were hungover. Probably, for sure we must have been. We were both smoking at the time. We were about to get on go into the airport, and we started singing Metallica nothing else
Yes.
matters.
Exactly. Drinking whiskey.
We had a whiskey, didn't we? Oh my goodness.
We had to. Well, Farah doesn't like turbulence. And I think the
Depends
reason,
what
yeah,
turbulence.
I think the reason we started drinking because we had the previous flight to the flight we are going to get on had really bad turbulence.
Oh, it's terrible.
So I'll never forget the moment where Farah turns to me and says, "Babe, if I die, just tell my daddy I love him."
No, I die and you live. Tell my
Okay.
daddy I love him.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, and you were like, babe, if you die, I'm going down with you.
Yeah, I remember that.
But that was
yeah.
a really bad,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, that flight. They said, oh, there's going to be turbulence. And it was literally like a roller coaster. I mean, we were
Yeah.
dropping meters in the air. Every single person on the plane was screaming.
Yeah.
And it was insane. And then you and I just started nervous laughter. We went into like hysterics. And then I asked it was a male
Yeah.
steward. And I was like, oh, plug me up
Yeah.
and just give me alcohol. And the guy's like, well, actually, it's not good to be on a plane and drink. And I was like, what? Who are you?
Just give me anything you got.
Anything you got.
I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
we had
that's
some
so
nice
funny.
times. Yeah.
Good times. Tell us another funny one, a client.
A client. Oh gosh. Well, I'll tell you about a lot of clients. So I remember one time, Farm, when you were with me actually. We were in London or Germany or Barcelona. It's been, we've been everywhere, but it was in one of those countries in the world. And we had a breakfast presentation very early in the morning. So, what is a breakfast presentation? So it is organized by a hotel or a company that brings hosted buyers to an exhibition. Hosted buyers are people who can be potential clients of DMCs, of hoteliers, of various venues of the country, and so on. So I think it was either the Deputy Ministry of Tourism, CTO at the time, that organized it, someone else. Anyways, a conference room in a hotel.
Was this the one I nearly missed? I remember there was one that you guys called me and were like, Farah, and I was like, I got ready in like 2 minutes.
So yeah, the funny thing about that was that we were supposed to present, which of course we have no problem presenting. However, we didn't get in until 4:00 in the morning, maybe 3. Can't remember this. So we were contemplating whether to.
And the reason I have to clarify we were out was because we were actually entertaining clients. So we were at events, and then sometimes there would be club nights for these clients and so many different things. So we were literally out, and we're good at entertaining.
Yeah.
So we'd be out with various clients and in different venues until 4, whatever. Yeah, it's crazy.
So, we weren't out there to party, guys. We did work quite a lot.
We were partying, but it was part of our job.
Yeah, it was part of the job. So I remember it was the funniest thing for me though, because I got to the breakfast table and I actually fell asleep. And I just couldn't get myself. I felt really like nervous, like, oh my God, someone woke me up and I had to go and present. Okay, it all went well. But there's a lot of funny stories. This is not so funny. It was more of I
remember us falling we traveled. That was Poland, I remember. We went to Warsaw and we had connecting flights that were red eye. We got there, we landed at 6 something in the morning. We got to the hotel. We couldn't even get into our rooms. We dropped our bags off and we started on our day of meetings. And I remember we had maybe booked in about 9 meetings that day and they were all in different locations. And the last one was at 5:00. So obviously we hadn't slept and we were in this meeting, and we do it whenever Claire and I were going on trips. We were taking it in turns. So either she would present first her company and then I would present the hotel. And in both times when each of us was presenting that last meeting, we literally looked at each other and our eyes were like closing and our head was nodding and we kept on going, and, to get the other one involved. And like hitting our colleague. Like, so I'd be like, Claire, remember? And she was like, oh yeah, I said Rafa. And then our eyes would be closing again. And then she would start with, and in Cyprus, we can do this. And I would be like literally dribbling on the table. We were absolutely exhausted. So that's the real side of it. It's so much fun, but it's tiring.
It's very demanding, but it's fun. I mean, like I said before, it's. I feel that we've lived a whole life in like 5 years with all that we do, and
Yeah.
and
And
all the
what we
people we
see.
meet. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The most rewarding, though, I think it's the friendships we create with our clients, with our suppliers, our colleagues, and we have created a family, and
Within the industry. Yeah.
exactly, within the industry, which will
It
be with
lasts a
us
lifetime.
forever. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. This
And the
is the whole thing.
memories.
Yeah.
Glenmore, I'm going to leave it at that because it's just such a positive note to end on,
Yeah.
and how much, family
Yeah.
in so many different ways. And we can meet our soulmates in so many different ways. Oh, 1 minute though. You did mention earlier about a train.
Oh,
So why don't we leave? Because I do
Yeah.
have that. Tell us something, some wise words of wisdom. So
Yeah,
tell us about the train.
Yeah, it's my story. That's how I see life, actually, but more importantly, the industry. So I'm a conductor of a train, right? And I have my cubicle. Is that what you call
Metaphorically
it?
speaking,
Yeah,
people.
metaphorically, yes. No, I would like to, but yeah. No. And my train stops at different stops, and people come in and they go forward and they get out. They come in, they go out. But at times I look back, and the people that mean something to me and have touched my life and have created memories are always behind me in my train. So I think tourism, well, for me, is like that, because I've been traveling with my train, and all types of people from all over the world entered, and they left something happy, or they've left an amazing memory, or a tear maybe because they were stressed, and I've created this life in the industry, and I have my cabin, and I will always have it, and I don't want to change it, because when I reach the end of my journey, I guess that's when I will die, probably, but still I will look back and I will see all these amazing memories and all these things that have been created because of tourism. So I actually love it. I love tourism.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's an amazing way to end. But we have a bonus question now.
Oh.
So the part of the tradition on this podcast is, because it is a team effort, our team at St. Ralph Resort and Marina have put together questions. You can see that we've done quite a few podcasts already, so the question box is not so full. But I don't know what they've asked. I don't know who asked them. Pick one.
Okay.
And I'll read it.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing it from you.
Yeah.
I'm like, me.
Take it back.
Okay, so your question is, I think we've covered this already. What does a day in your life look like?
Okay.
Let's go from morning to evening.
Yes, I'm not very good in the morning, so I do.
Few coffees.
Yeah, I do wake up quite early, and get ready. I go to the office when there's nothing happening in terms of events. I have my team, and we just
Come on, you missed out a few things. You missed out school runs.
Yeah, well, no,
You missed out.
actually, that I don't do, and I don't do school runs. So I basically wake up in the morning. I get my girls ready when I had to. Now they're
Yeah.
older, so they get ready on their own. But we do have
Yeah.
a
And
morning
then,
a morning talk every morning. We have a coffee or a tea together before they head off. Their father is there to collect them, take them to school, and then I get to the office. And once I'm in the office, actually, I'm doing boxing now, so I go boxing.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Kickboxing, aren't you?
Kickboxing, yeah, it's very good for me because it just clears my head, get all the tension, kill all the tension basically. Then I go home, get ready, go to the office, and the day starts. Okay, telephone calls and problem solving and challenges and I'm like, I don't even want to think about it because I have to go back to the office. But again, usually we have some outside of office meetings where we meet with different suppliers and colleagues to discuss things, dinners in the evening related to the industry, more drinks in the evening related to the industry, and back home again. So yeah, this week has been quite difficult with all the evening events that have been created this week. But yeah, no, this is my day. I go home, we eat with the family, see the kids, see if they have any issues from their day to solve, to discuss, to
Hang
share,
out.
and then we go to bed. We watch a movie together. We're watching this new series now called Fate Wings. I don't know. The
Is it
girls like
good?
it. Yeah, it's okay. It's about fairies and magic. And I said, okay. And that's it. We go to sleep.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Klea, well, thank you so much. We wish you and Sassy Events and your family all the best always.
Thank you, Farah. Thank you. I really appreciate you having me here. And I wish you and your lovely family all the best. Love you.